Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Elizabeth. Welcome to the channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about important things that you need to consider before immigrating to Canada. And to do this quite, good justice, I have typed down some things on my computer. So if you see me looking up and down, it's because I want to give you guys the absolute best. So I put down my thoughts here so that I don't miss anything. So let's get into it. For immigration into Canada, I would say before you immigrate to anywhere, the number one thing, now, as much as this are not in any order of, priority, I think there are things that you could do side by side. However, one very important thing that I would say is resolution. What is your resolution? Why do you feel like you have a strong resolution? Is your resolution strong enough for you to immigrate to Canada? And by that, this is what I mean. Specifically, for example, for Christian, do you have a conviction to move? Do you have a conviction to actually even consider immigrating to Canada or to any other country? So I think resolution is a huge piece, because when the road gets bumpy, when the journey gets tiring a little bit, you need that conviction, you need that resolution for you to know that, I'm doing the right thing. Like this is what's necessary. This is the best thing for this phase of my life. And that's beyond you talking yourself into it. It's actually something deep down there, that helps propel you and push you when things get a little difficult in the way. So strong resolution, strong conviction is actually number one thing before you consider moving anywhere. So number two is research. Research. You have to do research. You have to research what stream is available for me out there. Is it studies? Is it getting a job from outside the country? Or is it the PR, which is permanent residency? Is it express entry? Is it provincial nominee? What are the options that are available for you out there? It could be quite daunting, but I think you can get through it with solid and strategic research. You have to research. Not only are you to research the stream with which you would use in immigrating to Canada, I also think that you have to research wherever you're finding some kind of opportunities, you have to research that town. If it's a school, you have to research what their requirements are for you to get in. Do you have those requirements? Do you have what it takes to get admission into that school? Do you need to bump up your degree a little bit more before you get in? Those are the important things that you want to consider when you're thinking about coming into Canada through school. Now, when it is through a job, before I move on to the job piece, if it's through school, you want to ensure that the university that you are also, university or college or whatever program you're thinking of getting into, is a designated learning institution. So it's called a DLI. You want to ensure that that institution is a DLI. You do not just want to go to any institution that's not a DLI, because that brings me to talking about, you have to consider not just your immediate mode of coming into Canada, but you have to consider after you come into Canada, for example, as a student, after you get into Canada as a student, would you be able to get your postgraduate work permit? So those are the things you want to consider while thinking about the stream with which you want to come into Canada. So now let's talk about the job. If it's true job, do you need LMIA? I think it's called labor market something. I don't know the full. Do you need a letter from the person offering you a job for you to be able to get your visa, your temporary work permits to come into Canada? And if it's through express entry, you want to research and make sure that, are you going to be eligible for federal express entry? Are you going to be eligible for provincial nominee, or for all of the rural and northern programs that are available for you? So research is a huge piece. What is IRCC's requirement for you as you consider to move to Canada? You have to think about IRCC's requirement, not just the school's requirement, not just the job requirement, not just, the provincial government and all that. You have to think about IRCC's requirement. What funding do they expect you to have as you move here? So another thing I also want to mention here is you have to think about the city or the town or wherever the place is. You have to research that place. Now, as a big city girl, you do not want to, if you do not think that you could survive living in a small town, there are some towns in Canada where the population is 500 people. There are some towns where the population is 200 people. Can you survive living there? Those are questions that you have to ask yourself. So when these opportunities are opening up for you, don't turn a blind eye to, oh, I can live anywhere. No, you cannot live anywhere. You have to ensure that the resources that are available to you in that place, those are the kind of things that you can get by with. You do not want to, if you're a big city girl, you do not want to put yourself in a town where it's just like 200 people and you can't survive and you're mentally drained and you're, like life's just going south and you're not enjoying yourself. So these are important things that you want to consider as you think about coming to Canada. Another thing I would also mention, number 3, would be resources. Do you have the resources to prepare to come? Now, some people bank on the fact that, oh, I'm going to work when I get there. I'm going to work. As a student, how many hours can you work? And you also have to ensure that as you work, it does not impact your studies, because these are the things that are going to inform whether you're going to get a work permit after studies or not. So all of these things, you do not just want to bank on, oh, I'm going to work. You want to have, some substantial, source of resources that's going to help you as you come to Canada. So another thing I'm also going to speak to is readiness. You have to be ready. Now, wherever you're moving from, it's going to take a while for you to get settled into the new place, but you have to be mentally ready for a move. This is a change, it's a change. You're going to have a new environment. You're going to have to start making friends again. So these are the things, and these are the questions that you want to ask yourself before you move. Readiness. Am I mentally ready to go start a new life somewhere else where I do not know anybody? Am I mentally ready to start making friends? And in some cases, am I mentally ready to be in some town, you could probably be the only Black person in your town, Am I mentally ready for all of these changes? Because the changes would come. If you come in here, the changes are going to come. So am I mentally ready for all of these changes? As you move here, are you mentally ready to be your own cook, to be your own laundry person, to be your own hairdresser, to be your own, to be your own fashion designer, to be your own makeup artist? These are all the things you want to really consider as you prepare to move to Canada. And if you have some time on your hands, I would say start learning these things. If you're the type that haven't lived by yourself or solely dependent on yourself, I would say that this is the time to start thinking in that light, because the moment you move here, most of the time you would have to do most of these things by yourself, especially if you're coming from a kind of luxury background where there is the cook at home, there is the person that does the laundry, there is the hairdresser, there is all of those things. It's going to change when you come here. It is sure going to change. So these are the things that you want to consider as you begin to prepare to move to Canada. So get all your information right. There's a process to it. So I would say consider all of these things, and then get the work going. I know that as you begin to put all these documents together and all that, it could get a little daunting, but just take your time and look over it again and again, and make sure that you are using the best path or the best stream for yourself. Because if you have what it takes to apply for a PR, there's no reason for you to go apply to go to school, you know. So you want to consider all of those things as you begin to prepare to come to Canada. So I hope you guys do like this video. If you want me to do specific videos on maybe specific streams that you could use in coming to Canada, like some of the provincial nominees, some of the express entry route and all those things, please let me know and I will definitely get into it for you. So I hope you guys do like this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you like it, and make sure to share and to like and to subscribe to the channel, and make sure to turn on your post notification. See you in my next one. Bye.